Good morning, everybody. After a much needed, much enjoyed, relaxing breakfast, I just pulled out from my truck these pair of solenoids that I got from Shane. Thank you, Shane. Now, if you guys are new to the channel and don't know the setup on the CRX, which is right out there, I actually had two solenoids, was planning to do two different dry shots. One was broken out of the box and one stopped working about a week and a half, 2 weeks after I got tuned. So, Shane from my garage actually had an extra solenoid, the same style that I had in my car already, still in good working condition, and mine went out. So instead of buying brand new solenoids right now and then going to get retuned immediately, because I wanted to do a bigger shot and whatnot once I did get the new solenoids, I'm just going to put this one in for the time being, just keep it on the 50 shot that it's on right now for maybe another week or two, and then order those larger solenoids and do the bigger shot afterwards. So thank you, Shane. Guys, check out his channel in the description from my garage. Without further ado, or without further, what's the expression? It's something like without, I don't know. Who cares? I'm gonna throw these solenoids on. We're gonna see if it'll fix my nitrous issue, and after that, we can actually go do some, fun nitrous stuff. The mess of wiring. It's okay though. So if you look down under the dash, I'm gonna be changing this solenoid right there. Pretty much the same style solenoid as this little NOS old style solenoid. It's really simple. In our case, we just have the two fittings on the solenoid itself. Then it goes to the AN lines. And then off of those, we have these little spade connectors, which I'm just gonna look right here. I believe they're both male spade connectors coming off of the solenoid. So I'm just going to crimp some male connectors, spade connectors onto this solenoid. Then I'll actually power them before I, put them in the car just to make sure it clicks well and everything. Make sure that there's no obstruction in flow or nothing. Then I can actually get the fittings off, re-Teflon them, and put them onto this solenoid and hook it back up, see if it works. Alright, this CRX is so tiny, but old solenoid, new solenoid. Not new, but new to me. About the same size solenoid. The tune is safe enough with the same pill to be a little bit of a different of a solenoid and still be within its safety or whatever. There shouldn't be any issue. As for which side is which, both are labeled in and out on its corresponding side, so I won't be confused on where the fittings go or anything. The fittings have the same thread pitch and everything, so it should be as simple as just changing the connectors. Obviously, I'm not going to reuse these connectors since they're already crimped, but I'm going to get different spade connectors, one being a female, one being a male, put them onto here, and like I said, power the solenoid, make sure that it's all good, and probably one of the simplest solutions ever. The wiring. I know the wiring is all over the place right now. We ended up wiring this car the day of the dyno, a couple hours before. We just threw it together, and it was my duty to actually fix the wiring and make sure that it was all pretty afterwards. We're gonna do that in another episode, but for now we're just gonna leave it as it is and put new solenoids. Right, so I put the necessary spade connectors, one female and one ground, or one female and one male connector to the new solenoid. Now what's left to do is transfer this, I believe, in fitting. So this is coming from the nitrous bottle itself into the solenoid. Just got to transfer this over to the new one, or new to me. And I am using Teflon tape on them, as you can see. And instead of reusing the same, I have, new Teflon tape here. It's not an issue. Unthread it, put a little on, and put it onto the new solenoid. There. Now obviously you want to have the solenoid snug in there. One thing that people sometimes overlook with NPT fittings, they don't realize that the threads themselves is what makes the seal. It's not like a flare that needs to be seated all the way. The threads themselves lock in the pressure. So you know, you get it snug and then the threads do the rest. That's pretty much it for this side. On the other side, I'm just gonna rethread onto the solenoid since that goes directly to the spray plate with some new Teflon tape there as well. And just like that, the solenoid is back in. Obviously, like I said, the wiring is still not how I want it to be, but we will address that in the future. Right now, I just want to see if, you know, the nitrous is gonna act up how it should. And I can go ahead and put the bottle back in. Now, before I actually install the bottle into the brackets and everything, I'm just gonna put the feed line back on before you know, I hard install anything. Just because I want to make sure that it'll actually hold pressure this time. I don't know if you noticed, I opened the bottle and it started coming out the spray plate again like it did the other day. I'm like, what the heck? And then I realized we still had the plumbing and everything hooked up for the large solenoid from the day that we went to the dyno. That one right there, you can see it's all still plumbed up. I just disconnected the wires. It didn't click off, so the solenoid wasn't off, but it opened by itself. Now, mind you, the controller that we have and whatnot, we open or arm each solenoid individually, if I'm not mistaken. So how it turned on by itself, or for a second turned on and then stayed a little bit open, I don't know. It's very strange. So I ended up taking off the T with the line that went from the main feed line to that solenoid, and I just did the main feed line to the small solenoid now. It's still interesting. I think I'm just gonna block off that one spot for the time being, but I'm like, what the heck? That's it's very strange. So my bottle is at like 600 PSI right now. I'm about to weigh it. I have a little scale and it tells you about how many pounds are empty, and it tells you on the label of the bottle itself what weight is for full and what weight is for empty and whatnot. You can do judgment on that to see how much nitrous you actually have left. So that's really weird. Now I have the line direct, and then I opened it again and it holds pressure, no problem. Just from the bottle to the small solenoid, the one that we were using. So it's super strange. I don't know what's going on, but I guess we found the problem was the big solenoid that wasn't supposed to be open is open for some reason. I'm telling you, it's a brand new solenoid that I bought in Daytona like a week or two before I went to the dyno. So besides putting it in this car and not working, it was never used. So it's definitely an interesting case. I'm gonna take this off, and now it's just gonna be direct, like I said, for the time being until we actually do a big solenoid or whatever. And yeah, that's weird. But at least we found the problem, which is the important part. You know, things happen, and I thought that it was a small solenoid given the problems that I was doing. I thought the small solenoid was stuck open, but it looks like the big one that was never used somehow became open, and we at least pinpointed the problem. Now I'm gonna say, like I said, I'm gonna plumb that up so it's only the one solenoid and I don't have the other one causing vacuum leak or anything, and see if I can refill my nitrous bottle. All right, I actually have my scale right here. Before we end up deciding if we're gonna take it to get filled or not, I'm gonna read the label. Over here it says weight of gas 10 pounds, weight of cylinder empty, weight of the bottle empty, 14 pounds, weight of cylinder and gas when it's full, 24 pounds. So I have my little scale here. Before anything, I'm just gonna zero it out. You know, you can play with the scale on the little dial at the bottom. Some scales have it, some scales don't. I'm gonna zero that out right there. It's about 0. Get my bottle, lay it on top. That's right at 20 pounds. So it's not empty, it's not full. I'll probably just use this for a little bit, get rid of the rest of that nitrous, use a torch, heat it up, obviously, get it to the pressure that it needs to be, but we still have nitrous. All right, so bottle is hooked up and whatnot. Single solenoid. Just gonna open up the line. You can see it's holding about 700 psi pressure right there. Given that there's still actually some weight to the bottle, we're gonna use out the rest of the nitrous we have. Just gonna, you know, torch it up. I know a lot of people are saying that I shouldn't use a torch. You're kind of right. I should use an actual bottle heater, but I have to get a bottle heater. So, or actually install the one I have. Even though the one I have is pretty cheap, still better than nothing. But for the time being, the torch is fine. Bottle open, no leaks. Torch action. Keep an eye on that pressure. Make sure you get it nice and high. We're at like we're right about 1,000. So I'm gonna go a little bit more. I might do a couple pulls, so I'll take the torch with me. I think there's actually warmers that come with a sensor and apply heat as you lose pressure. So that might be a good investment. I'm thinking of getting one of those. All right, so got a little bit of bottle pressure. Got the engine warming up right now. We'll go out for a little cruise, go see my buddy at his shop. And yeah, you know, enjoy the day before I go to work, of course. You know you're in Florida when you drive around your street car in sandals. It's all good, no worries. Now, I would really love to do some pulls in this, both all motor and nitrous, like from inside of the car so you guys can see. But if you saw the last video, any way that I mount my phone, or I don't have a GoPro yet, it's terrible quality. So I'm gonna try to hold the camera, but I don't know, if there's no videos, I do apologize, but I'm gonna try, you know. All right, I got a red light. Time to arm that nitrous. I'm gonna try a pull. It's supposed to come on wide open. I'm just holding the camera. Alright, so yeah, it's breaking up a little bit on nitrous. I don't know if it's what exactly it's related to, but you know, we have plenty of time to figure things out, and I want to tune on a bigger shot anyway, so I'm gonna talk to my tuner, see what's going on. I think it's got to be nitrous system related, because ever since the big solenoid gave us that problem, it was started to act up from that point forward. I'm gonna pull the plugs when I get home and check those out. But besides that, on the all motor map, the car's running great. Just cruising around town. Just left my buddy's shop, went over there, talked to him for a while. Hopefully we're gonna do some autocross stuff in the future. So in the next couple months, that should be coming up. I think in May he said that there's an autocross event to go to. Whatever, I'm just gonna do an all motor pull off this light. Bottle's off, not worried about it. Moves all motor. Woo! That Mercedes just flew by me. He tried launching at the light with me. But nope. Bye-bye. Alrighty, so skip forward about 30 minutes. I ended up realizing that it was a little later than I thought. It's about 3:30 something right now, and I go into work at 4. So I ended up just going home, getting changed, from getting ready for work. And now I am in my truck, obviously, since you can hear me, and I am on my way to work right now. Anyways, to summarize today, we were able to figure out that the main solenoid leak problem was that the big solenoid that was faulty was hanging open and just letting all the nitrous leak out from there. What we didn't figure out is why it was breaking up how it was. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, my AFR gauge, the wideband that I have, the gauge works, the sensor's dead, so I need another sensor to actually see the AFRs and whatnot. It could be that the new solenoid isn't spraying nitrous, or who knows? Maybe it's not getting enough. Well, it's tuned for the fuel, so that couldn't. I don't think that could be the issue. It was running good on nitrous before, so I'm sure it's not something nitrous controller or something nitrous kit related. We'll figure it out in the future. I'm not in any rush with the car, you know. Besides, towards the end of the month that I want to go to Ratchet Fridays in Bradenton. Besides that, I don't really have like an immediate race set up or anything. I don't have to do a deadline with it. I'm just having fun with the car. So that's what it comes down to it. Worst case scenario, if the car can't have nitrous kit, then it'll run all motor at Bradenton, you know. I just want to have fun with the car, which is exactly what I'm doing and exactly how the car is going to be. you know. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you want to make fun of my face while I was doing those little pulls, it's a fun car. I was concentrating on the crappy, I don't know, vibrations of it or something. I still got to change the axle in it. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit a like. I'm trying to do a little more like cinematic style intros like I did last video with changing the nitrous bottle, and then how I did in this video, waking up and making breakfast or whatever. But like I said for the 4th, 5th time, let me know what you think in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one, and enjoy the rest of your day.